Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Welcome to this week's show. Now, this week in the show, I'm probably going to go over most people's heads with this, but these are things that need to be said in order to improve your game. This week, we're going to be talking about improvisation. Now, when you think about improv, you think probably about like comedy, like Second City or Saturday Night Live, but that's not really what we're talking about this week. This week, we're talking about improvising on a paintball field. So what do I mean by improvisational skills? Now, what I mean are when you're playing, there are several things you just can't plan for. I mean, dumb stuff that happens or opportunities that just present themselves as you're playing. But this is one of those cases it's easier to show you than it is to tell you, so let me show you. You know, for a show about improv, I suck at it. One of the things that we as human beings have as a fault is that we're predictable. We fall into patterns. So if somebody's in a spot over here, they're going to keep coming out of the same area over and over again. Or they'll try to mix it up and like switch sides and come out of the same area on the other side. So what you need to do is improvise. You need to break out of the patterns. You need to break off of what you normally do. So this is an example of this. Let's say that there's this guy right here, and I'm right over there. Now let's say I have to flank in order to get this guy, but you don't want to do it in a predictable way because he'll just sweet spot and he'll hit you. So you break up the pattern. Ta-da! Again, it's just a matter of breaking up the pattern. If you were following along, you probably expected me to break the plane over here. That's where the guy would have sweet spotted me. That's why I stopped in front of this barricade right here. That's what I mean by improv. There's no way to plan for this on the field. I mean, you can think about it, but odds are you're not going to think about doing that. It's a matter of seeing it on the fly. It's a matter of seeing it as you're playing. Now, same thing goes for when you're behind a stagnant bunker, kind of like this one. You don't want to start getting into any kind of a pattern because the other team is going to notice this and you are going to get smoked. You know, it's like playing, you know, one of those whack-a-mole games. Yeah, you figure out the pattern, then you start. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to break up the rhythm. Don't come out every second and a half. Come out once, wait a little bit longer, come out again, then quickly come out. Keep on moving the pattern around. You don't want to make it predictable. Then change up where you come out. Come out one side, come out the other side. Go low and shoot out the corner. Go high. Do anything you can to break up the pattern, break up the rhythm. Now something else that might happen to you on the field that you're going to have to improvise about is gun problems. Alright, fine. This is a technology sport. Things happen. Your gun might go down. Your hopper might completely break. You might have so much paint broken in your barrel that it's just dripping out through the holes. Well, that doesn't mean you're eliminated, so for crying out loud, don't call yourself out. You're still in the game. Still think like a team player. If you're in the back of the field, you can start acting like a quarterback. Start calling out the positions of the other team so that you can tell your team where the bad guys are. Also have another guy in the center. Even if you still have your gun, don't drop it and start running. Even most of the times, if you just point your gun at somebody, they'll duck. They might figure it out real quick that you can't shoot back at them, but that'll buy you a second or two. Just keep in mind that as long as you're in the game, you're still in the game. And besides, one of your teammates might be able to help you out if you're out of paint or if you're out of air or something. Or like me, if you're like an idiot and you forgot to turn your safety off. Alright, here we go. Come on! Now, one other thing I want to hit on before we call it a show, and that is try dumb stuff. Stupid ideas do work once in a while. I want to emphasize it's once in a while, not all the time. I mean, stupid things like running along the snake side where there's no tall cover. Nobody would expect that. Or crawl underneath somebody's line of fire so that they can't see you, although it looks to everybody else like you're crawling out in the middle of nowhere. Or even shoot at somebody and then quickly angle out so that when they're tucked in, you're at a new spot. Now, these sound like really dumb ideas sometimes, but if it was a dumb idea and it worked, odds are it wasn't that dumb an idea. Yeah, if I played this loose and I actually played, I'd be shot a lot more. Having all the skills and the drills and the techniques down is a good thing. Now, don't get me wrong, but having the ability to do something completely unexpected and have that trick you can pull out of your bag, that's even better. True improvisation means that you have the skill to make things up as you go, the ability to see things open up in front of you, and the confidence in your own abilities to make it work. Once you have all three of those things, you can go far. Catch you next week. Now let's talk a little bit about bottles falling on you when you get ready to do a take.